Commander Vrell stood at the observation deck of the dreadnought Infinite Talon, his 3 eyes gleaming with satisfaction. Below him, the human colony of New Terra burned. Smoke pillars twisted into the atmosphere like dying serpents. He clicked his mandibles together, the sound echoing in the silent command center. Pathetic, he muttered, watching another district collapse under orbital bombardment. Humans. So fragile. So predictable. His second-in-command, Officer Crane, adjusted the tactical display with her 6-fingered hand. Admiral, we are detecting a single vessel approaching from the outer system. Small craft. No significant weapon signatures. Vrell laughed. It started as a low rumble in his thorax and built into a full-bodied roar that made his subordinates flinch. One ship? One? Oh, this is delicious. They send us a sacrifice. How quaint. The vessel appeared on the main view screen. It was indeed small, barely larger than a shuttle. Sleek. Dark. Unremarkable. Vrell expected a desperate evacuation attempt, or perhaps a foolish last stand. What he did not expect was the transmission that crackled through their communications array. Unidentified Karathi warship. This is Captain Marcus Flynn of the Terran Defense Initiative. I'm here to negotiate your immediate withdrawal. The entire bridge fell silent. Then someone snorted. Then another. Within seconds, the command crew was howling with laughter. Vrell wiped moisture from his primary eye. Negotiate, he gasped between chuckles. You? And that toy? Boy, I have 17 dreadnoughts in this fleet. I have reduced 4 of your colonies to ash in the past month. Your government is in shambles. Your military is scattered. And you want to negotiate. There was a pause. When the human spoke again, his voice was quiet, almost conversational. Admiral Vrell, is it? I did my homework. You're the one who likes to broadcast your victories across every channel. You enjoy the fear. Fear is a tool, Vrell said, still grinning. And yes, I wield it masterfully. Sure. The human replied, and Vrell detected something odd in his tone. Was that amusement? Here's the thing, Admiral. You've been fighting our colonial defense forces. Civilians with military training. Volunteers. Militia. You haven't actually fought humanity yet. Vrell's laughter died. Excuse me. You heard me. Those colonies you destroyed? Farmers with plasma rifles. Teachers flying gunships. Doctors manning defense stations. Brave people, absolutely. But not soldiers. Not real ones. Crane leaned toward Vrell. Sir, sensors are detecting something. Multiple contacts emerging from the asteroid field at coordinates 77 Alpha. They were hiding. Stealth technology far beyond our detection capabilities. Vrell's blood went cold. How many? Counting now. 20. 50. 100. Sir, they're still coming. These signatures, they're different. Military grade. Heavy armor. Weapons platforms that, by the gods, their energy readings are off the scale. The human's voice returned, softer now. Almost gentle. See, Admiral, we humans have a peculiar habit. We keep our monsters locked away. We don't let them out unless we absolutely have to. Because when we do, he paused. Well, they're very hard to put back. Vrell's tactical officer shouted, Admiral, they're targeting our fleet. All vessels reporting weapons lock. Impossible. Shields up. Return fire. Sir, they're moving too fast. They're inside our formation. How did they get so close without? Admiral, we're taking hits. The Crimson Fong just lost primary shields. The Endless Fury is venting atmosphere from decks 4 through 9. Vrell watched in growing horror as his invincible fleet, the terror of 3 systems, began to come apart. The human vessels moved like hunting predators, coordinated, efficient, brutal. They didn't posture. They didn't threaten. They simply destroyed. Pull back. All ships, retreat formation. Vrell commanded, his voice cracking. Captain Flynn's voice returned. You wanted to see fear as a weapon, Admiral? Let me show you what happens when you wake up the things humans keep in the dark. These aren't colonists. These aren't defense forces. These are the hunters. The watchers. The ones we only unleash when talking doesn't work anymore. 2 more of Vrell's dreadnoughts exploded in silent fury. His crew scrambled, panicked, screaming coordinates and damage reports. The organized military machine collapsed into chaos in under 3 minutes. What are you? Vrell whispered. The human laughed then. It was not a kind sound. We're the reason humanity hasn't been destroyed yet, despite being soft and squishy and emotional. We're the contingency plan, the insurance policy. We're the monsters that keep the other monsters in check. Another explosion rocked the Infinite Talon. Alarms wailed. Crane grabbed Vrell's arm. Sir, we must retreat. We're down to 8 operational vessels. Vrell stared at the view screen, at the dark ships dismantling his fleet with surgical precision. He had made a terrible mistake. He had judged humanity by the gentle face it showed the galaxy. He had forgotten the oldest rule of warfare. Never assume you've seen your enemy's full strength. Retreat, he croaked. Full retreat. Now. As the Infinite Talon's engines roared to life, desperately reaching for jump distance, Captain Flynn had one last thing to say. Run fast, Admiral. And tell everyone you meet what happened here. Tell them the humans have monsters too. And unlike yours, ours know exactly what they're doing. The Karathi High Council chamber fell deathly silent as Admiral Vrell finished his report. His uniform, once pristine and decorated with conquest medals, was scorched and torn. His 3 eyes were dull, haunted. Of the 17 dreadnoughts that had entered human space, only 4 limped home. Chancellor Drex leaned forward, his crystalline tusks clicking together in disbelief. Let me understand this correctly. A single human vessel appeared, and then your entire fleet was obliterated in under 10 minutes. Not obliterated, Chancellor. Dismantled. There is a difference. Vrell's voice was hollow. They knew exactly where to strike. Every weak point. Every vulnerability. They moved like they had fought our ships 1,000 times before. Impossible, spat General Korthax from across the chamber. Our vessels are state-of-the-art. Our shields are impenetrable. You must have been incompetent, cowardly, or both. Vrell's mandibles twitched. Then you go, General. Please, take the remaining fleet and show me how it's done. I beg you. The sarcasm was not lost on anyone. Korthax bristled, but said nothing. Chancellor Drex pulled up tactical recordings from the battle. The Council watched in growing dread as the dark human vessels appeared from nowhere, their movements impossibly coordinated, their weapons punching through Karathi's shields as if they were made of vapor. Who are they? Drex asked quietly. These hunters the human mentioned? Vrell shook his head. I made inquiries. Discreet ones. The humans call them the Silent Fleet. Officially, they don't exist. No government claims them. No military branch acknowledges them. But every human knows about them. They're the watchers at the edge of darkness. The response to extinction-level threats. Fairy tales, Korthax muttered. Ghost stories. Ghost stories don't vaporize dreadnoughts, Vrell snapped. Ghost stories don't coordinate strike patterns that would take our best tacticians weeks to plan. These humans, they weren't angry. They weren't afraid. They were just efficient. A junior counselor raised her voice tentatively. Perhaps we could negotiate? Sue for peace. Vrell laughed, a bitter sound. That's what the human captain suggested before he unleashed hell. Negotiate. Withdraw. I thought he was joking. Turns out he was giving me a chance I didn't deserve. Chancellor Drex stood, his massive frame casting shadows across the chamber. We have a choice before us. Continue this war and face these hunters, or retreat with what dignity we have left. Retreat. General Korthax exploded from his seat. We are the Karathi Empire. We have conquered 14 systems. We do not flee from hairless primates. No, Vrell said softly, but every ear in the chamber heard him. You don't understand. Those colonists we fought before, the ones we thought were humanity's military, they were trying to minimize casualties. Ours and theirs. They were hoping we'd see reason and leave. But these new ones, the Silent Fleet, they don't care about minimizing anything. They care about solving problems. And right now, General, we are the problem. He pulled up another recording. A transmission intercepted during the retreat. A human voice, calm, professional, coordinating strikes. Target the life support on Vessel 7. Disable, don't destroy. Let them suffocate slowly. Vessel 12 is attempting to charge weapons. Remove their bridge. Vessel 3 is protecting the flagship. Hamstring their engines and let them watch. The council listened in horror. The voice wasn't cruel. It wasn't angry. It was simply methodical, like someone exterminating vermin. They gave me a message to deliver, Vrell continued. The captain, Flynn, he said to tell everyone what happened, to spread the word. Because humanity doesn't want to fight. They actually, genuinely don't want war. They find it distasteful, messy. But if you force them, if you push them hard enough, They will show you why they're still alive despite being weaker than most species. Chancellor Drex closed his eyes. Because they're better at violence than anyone else. No, Vrell corrected. Because they're smarter about it. They studied us. They knew our tactics before we used them. They knew our weaknesses before we knew we had them. And they waited. They let us think we were winning, so we'd commit fully. Then they crushed us. Silence descended again. Finally, Counselor Vex spoke, her voice trembling. What do we do? Vrell met the Chancellor's gaze. We withdraw. We send reparations. We apologize. And we pray to whatever gods we believe in that they accept. And if they don't? Korthax asked, his bravado finally cracking. Vrell thought about those dark ships. Those efficient killers. That quiet voice coordinating death with the casualness of someone ordering lunch. He thought about Captain Flynn's final words as the Infinite Talon fled. Then we die, Vrell said simply. Because humanity's real monsters aren't the ones that roar and threaten. They're the ones that whisper and plan. And we just woke them up. Chancellor Drex nodded slowly. Prepare a formal withdrawal. All Karathi forces are to vacate human space immediately. And send a diplomatic vessel. Unarmed. With full reparations and a treaty proposal. As the council dispersed, Vrell remained behind, staring at the frozen image of a silent fleet vessel on the tactical display. Somewhere out there, Captain Flynn and his hunters were watching. Waiting. Ready. The Karathi had learned a hard truth that day. The scariest monsters are the ones you never see coming. And humanity had plenty of those. The war ended not with a bang, but with a whimper. Admiral Vrell would spend the rest of his days grateful he had survived to deliver the warning. Some species learned through wisdom. Others learned through defeat. The Karathi had chosen the hard way. And humanity? They simply went back to their lives, their monsters returning to the shadows, waiting patiently for the next time they would be needed. Because that's what monsters do. They wait. If this story entertained or taught you something, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and bring you more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next story.